Here are the parts you've been waiting for. I'm going to start talking about the actual renters who caused a lot of problems, or the ones who were good, which weren't very many. The first one we're going to talk about is the girlfriend beater. His name was Nile, Nile. That is his real first name. When I bought my first rental property back in the spring of 19, it came with renters already in it. It was an over-under duplex, and Niall lived on the first floor by himself. There wasn't a lot of furniture in his apartment, but of course, he had the requisite big screen TV. It's always amused me, no matter how broke or poor or on welfare someone is, they always have their big screen TV and their fancy furniture that they probably got at Rent-A-Center, which proves they have no financial education because they're paying double retail at any rent-to-own place. Very stupid decision. Anyhow, Niall, have you ever met someone and known instantly that you don't like this person, and sooner or later, this person is going to cause you all kind of trouble? Well, that's how I felt about Niall. I really didn't have a choice. He had moved into the place a few months ago. He was within his 1-year lease, so I was stuck with him at least until his lease was up. So, whatever. His rent was something like $430 a month, which was way too low. Once I got him out of there, I improved the rent to $580 a month. Improved for me, not for the renters, of course. Yeah, that's how this works. But I didn't have to wait very long to get him out because he would play Fortnite on his big screen TV. He didn't have a whole lot to say to me. I met him a couple times when I first bought the place and when I was in there soon after for doing some general maintenance. And it was only one time I had to collect a rent payment from him, and he had the cash there. But I just knew it's only a matter of time until he doesn't have the rent money, and I have to start getting on him about it. And he would try to come up on me real quick and say, "Oh yeah, well what?" No. Well, we never came to that point though, because a month and a half after I bought the place, Niall decides to beat up his girlfriend in the apartment. And then a couple of the local police officers came, and he decides he's going to attack them. So he went to jail. I think he was in jail for about 6 months, which was fine with me because it got him out of my way. And so not long after all this happened, I had gotten a call from the upstairs renter say, "Hey, the guy downstairs, he was in trouble and the police were here." And, so I did some looking into it and I found out what happened. Didn't take long at all. So I ended up getting in touch with this Niall's mother and girlfriend, and I met them at the place and I said, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I'm not worried about, money to clean the place up or overdue rent from the lease or nothing like that. Just, get all this stuff and get it out of here and sign off on the paper and we're good. And they were fine with that. So it was about a week or two later. They had some people come over. They cleaned the place out, got all this stuff out of the way, and he was gone. So that was by far the easiest getting rid of someone I have had so far. And he did it to himself. Hey, whatever. And during the cleanup of the place, I learned some new things about houses and heating systems. This house was an over and under duplex. It had one gas furnace in the basement. For whatever reason, the heating ducts on the first floor were all blocked off. So the heat only went to the second floor. I don't know how long it was like that. I don't know why. So there was no direct source of heat on the first floor of the house. They had what they said was a smokeless, ventless gas fireplace in the living room. And that provided the heat for the whole place. And after all his stuff was moved out, his girlfriend had told me he would run that heater, and after a while, the place would smell like gas really bad. So, well, I got rid of that thing, blocked off the gas line, turned off the valves for it, and it'll never be used again. And I didn't think much of it at the time until I was doing some cleaning in the house. I had my bottle of Windex and some paper towels, and the windows didn't look terrible, but I'll clean the windows anyhow. So I sprayed a Windex, I wiped a paper towel on the window, black. Black, not just dirty, black. So how did it get so dirty? This window isn't leaking. So I started spraying the whole window and everything. Black. All the soot from this gas heater had been getting all through the apartment. And so I had to get a bucket with a really strong bleach and water combination and an old towel, soak the towel in the bucket, and just be taking the towel and washing down all the walls black. You could see very easily on the walls where I had wiped and not wiped because of all the soot from this smokeless, ventless gas heater getting all over the apartment. It was only a matter of time until somebody died from carbon monoxide in that house. I don't know how long they had the heater, but I put that thing out in the front yard with a sign on it saying free scrap metal. And within an hour, it was gone. Because this is not a real high income area. You have scrappers who drive around in their pickup trucks looking for any kind of scrap metal they find. People will just put stuff out in the front yard, free scrap, and it gets taken away very easily. So that was one of my first real learning things. Okay, gas heaters, guys who beat up their girlfriends and then attack the police officers when they come to settle things, and they go to jail. So that was my first adventure, or misadventure as you may want to consider it, in getting rid of a troublesome renter, the girlfriend beater. Upstairs in the house was the pothead, who at this time he was okay, but he later became a real problem. And we'll talk about the pothead in the next episode.